Planet X, or Nibiru, or Wormwood, Planet 9, Planet 10, whatever you want to call it, will flip Earth's poles, bring forth apocalypse, says the Doomsday Preacher. This is on Bended Reality from Sputnik News. Right before, when finally Planet X moves far enough away from the sun that everyone on Earth looks up and goes, "Oh my God, how could it have gotten there? And they never told us." How? Who's being lying to us? Planet X, otherwise referred to as Nibiru or Wormwood, Nemesis, has long been a central icon to a wealth of conspiracy theories, including amusing predictions that the approaching mystery planet will cause a massive increase in Earth's gravity and bring about more than just tidal abnormalities. Well, the thing is that something has been coming around Earth every few thousand years. This goes back all the way to Plato. He had been told by the lawmaker of ancient Greece, of Athens, Solon, and Solon was told by someone from ancient Egypt, a high priest of Egypt, that the ancient Greeks should know. After all, they had a finer sense and record of things like this going on than the ancient Egyptians had. But this high priest Egyptian told Solon that every few thousand years there is a planetary system that comes very close to Earth and wreaks havoc, that it had done so many times in the past, and that it would do so many times in the future. And supposedly the last time this had gone and happened was around 12,000 years ago, 12,500 years ago, and it was around that time when Atlantis was bobbing up and down, up above and down below and above the level of the sea, and at one point it just stayed down. The same thing was happening with the island of Rhodes, but the island of Rhodes in the Aegean Sea stayed above sea level to where it is today. So there are records of things like this coming to Earth every so often. Now, Planet X, otherwise referred to as Nibiru, bringing about more than just tidal abnormalities. So-called Planet X, another name for the often theorized doomsday planet of Nibiru, will reverse the Earth's magnetic poles and drastically change the way the planet looks when it passes sometime soon, according to conspiracy theorist and doomsday preacher Gordon James Giannotto. Notoriously a believer that the wayward mythical planet of Nibiru will suddenly appear in our solar system before flipping the Earth's magnetic poles and unleashing wild gravity, he predicts that devastating earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis will bring about the apocalypse. Speaking live on Coast to Coast AM radio, Giannotto claimed that Planet X will not approach the Earth directly as it exacts its toll, at the same time remarking that the still unproven heavenly body size, much larger than our Earth, means it will strike from a staggering distance of 24 million kilometers. When Nibiru arrives, it will take the planet an hour to wipe out 90% of mankind. This is what the conspiracy theorist concluded in his hilariously dismal forecast. Quote, "What's going to happen at first is we're going to have increased earthquakes, volcanoes, tidal surges, bigger storms." The preacher gushed, adding, "We're going to have all kinds of things like that, and the pace is going to pick up to the point where governments cannot rescue anybody. You are on your own, and you're going to see that all this will happen." And right before, when finally Planet X moves far enough away from the sun that everyone on Earth looks up and goes, "Oh my God, how could it have gotten there?" And they were never told. We were never told. How? Who's been lying to us? And he carried on about all this, urging all within earshot to mark that day in the calendars, since he estimated that a mere 49 days would be left until a pole shift that sees expected to rise up by 213 meters minimum. That's about 600 to 700 feet. Conspiracy theories around the mysterious Nibiru have it that the mythical planet passes through our solar system on a long elliptical orbit about every 3,600 years. NASA and the rest of the globe scientific community has dismissed all Nibiru-related claims as a hoax. This is from Sputnik News, and I'm reading it from Bandit Reality. I'll leave a link below for you for this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.